Darryl Quillam, Mayor of Circular Head. We're ready for another weekly Mayor's Message, and as you can see, I'm not alone today. John Dabner from Tall Timbers is here, and we thought we'd just have a little talk about tourism in Circular Head and just how things are going. So, John, I know with the Tarkine Drive now almost completed, it must be a good feeling to see that, and it should keep people in our district for another day. Is that the way that the Tourist Association and you as a tourist operator would see it?
I think, Darryl, the Tarkine Drive is probably going to be one of the most biggest things Circular Head tourism has seen for a long time, and I've obviously been pushing that for a fair while. So we're having that, completed by mid-January. Official opening early February. So I've already had inquiries from the Tall Timbers side of things with coach groups wanting to do half-day tours out that way with a guide on board. So we're hoping that we can secure some of those for next season. 4 of the major companies already had inquiries in regards to that. So, but I agree with you. The leisure market will give us the opportunity to extend the day's stay in the region. So instead of one day, we may get the second day.
That's what I was getting at, is that some of these tours that come here may well stay at Tall Timbers for 2 nights now rather than one. Would that be?
Oh, that's our whole point of view. Is I've give 4 options, 2 half-day options and 2 full-day options, and that of course in turn will spend, instead of spending 1 night with us, will spend 2 nights with us. So I think there's opportunity for that, and they're showing a lot of interest. The great thing about the Tarkine Drive too is with the coach groups, they're all centred around amenities around the areas that they travel. So that's one of the key things that Adire are doing by putting those amenities at Julius River and also at Milkshakes, and we've got the great ones already at Edge of the World. So there's some great opportunities out there.
Yeah, and I did the trip myself here 3 or 4 months ago, and to see Lake Chisholm and some of these. It's a really nice drive, and I know you go through part of the west coast, and then you go along the Arthur River, and there's some nice old trees, but there's also a big variety of things you can actually see there, including going through farmland as well. So it's a great tour, and I expect that there'll be a lot of people come from not only the mainland but overseas to actually look at it as well, which I think is good. And with that in mind, I know that TT Line today has announced that there's more sailings and cheaper prices. So how do you see that affecting us and tourism in general for the state?
Well, for regional tourism, obviously we're focused on the spirits themselves, because the people that come and travel around the state are on the spirits are at the 10 to 14 day plus market, and they distribute themselves around all the regional areas. So we get this regional dispersal, which in tourism we've been talking about for many years. So that will assist that. They're expecting 64,000 extra people by 2018, I think. They're upgrading the decks on the boats to be able to do that. So 42 additional sailings a year. That can only be a benefit for our region as well as all the other region, West Coast, East Coast, because people actually get right around the state. So I think it's a positive. The government's in their election promise was a 20% decline in fares. Those fares, I think an average, I was reading today, about 14 to 15%. We haven't quite got to the 20%, but at least we're actually on a good start with it. We're on moving in the right direction with the government guaranteeing on their promises. So that's great.
Oh, that's good. And tourism for this year is looking reasonably positive for you?
Yeah, we've had a good start to the end of November. First part of the year has been really good. Forward bookings are up on the previous year. I think the filming at Stanley's assisted all the Stanley region for that last few weeks, and that's assisted us as well. We've had one of the busiest weeks last week, so I feel that I'm fairly confident about the season, and we'll be up on last year. So.
All right, anything else, John, for tourism or for Tall Timbers that we should know about?
No, I must congratulate the council too on the sign at the Bass Highway, which will be installed this week, so that'll be great to get people west of that Stanley turnoff and get the, I suppose, tourist focus more on the Tarkine and the edge of the world and those key focal points. So I must congratulate the council on that and thank them for doing that, and look forward to a good season.
Thanks, John, and it's good to have you, and I know that Talk Timbers is an important part of infrastructure for tourism and for Circulate, so thank you very much, and thanks for being with us, and I hope everybody has a great week. Thank you very much.